Welcome to a quick movement moment. I'm Jen, and this practice will be using a chair. We'll be seated for part of it, and we'll actually use the chair as a prop for part of it. So I'll invite you to connect seated, ideally a chair that doesn't roll. And you'll notice I have my yoga blocks here just so I can be seated. The height of this chair, I need a little bit of height at my feet to feel kind of alignment in my body. So just give yourself that chance to really just feel positioned well and a little shift forward of your sitting bones. So we're not leaning back on the chair, but trying to be forward just a little bit, feeling as though your hips are shifted slightly forward. And give yourself a few moments, hands resting on your legs or next to the sides of your body to just move through the head and the neck. And just checking in with some circular movements, some tilting. I'm noticing I just kind of want to close my eyes. Maybe you close your eyes and just feel where there may be any spots of tension. And as you start to just feel these little spots, can you invite in a few deeper breaths? And maybe if you feel a little place that has some tension, you linger and you send a thoughtful inhale and a really softening exhale to that place. And then when you're ready, we'll start to bring ourselves upright and give yourself a moment to bring your hands behind you. Maybe you're grabbing the chair, the hands behind you, lifting your heart space, maybe a lift of your chin, almost an arch to your back. And then bringing your hands around to purposely round your spine a little bit. Maybe hands touch to the knees or the thighs. Maybe you lean back a bit. Continuing there through some seated cow cats. I'm going to turn sideways just to show you that I'm giving a lift of my heart, sending almost my belly forward, my heart lifting, and then taking some time to soften and just being thoughtful about how much range of motion feels good to you here. So these movements are meant to find some space in the front and the back of your body to maybe give you a little release in your spine and your back. And you are really your best guide here on how much range feels good. Taking a few more moments in those cows and cats. And then I'd invite you to pause either in that rounded cat with just a little softening of your chin. Maybe it feels okay to surrender into a deeper forward fold. Take your time. You might slide just really thoughtfully. I'm almost resting my chest on my legs, letting the head hang. So if this feels available to your body, just letting yourself kind of invite in gravity, that gentle tug of gravity at the crown of your head. And please listen to your back, your body. If that deep of a fold does not feel good, if you're feeling dizzy today, we just stay in that more upright cat spine. If you are rounded, slowly and thoughtfully roll back up, just literally unpeeling yourself from how we started. We'll meet with the spine really nice and straight, hands resting next to you on the chair. And let's just find some movement of that left hip. So I'm going to kind of pick up the leg and open it up a little bit. You could even roll around through the ankle, just finding some hip movements here. And then when you're ready, we'll bring that left leg up and over and literally cross it over the right. See if you can sit up tall again, really pressing thigh to thigh, and then gently bringing right hand outside of right knee and maybe a little press into the left thigh with your right forearm to twist to the left side. Positioning your hands wherever it feels right. Really draw this twist up, feeling length of your spine, length of the crown of your head toward the ceiling, as much rotation as feels welcome in your body, and your breath is usually a clue that you're in that just right spot. When you're ready, come back to center. Help your legs shift just enough. Can you hook the left ankle on the right thigh? So, trying a seated figure four. This can be a very intense stretch. And again, depending on the height of where your feet are, this may or may not feel welcome. So, keeping a position that just allows you to feel some softening. You may have the legs a little bit more crossed, or you might be all the way out to the very edge of that left ankle. Notice if you've lost any position in your back. Sit up really, really tall. And then when you're ready, helping that leg unwind, planting left foot next to right. Let's reach and stretch up, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, bring your hands down and we'll start to play a bit with the right leg. So noticing a little mobility, there's a little strength happening here. You could be multitasking the good way in yoga, where we multitask, rolling foot and moving hip. And then when you're ready, we'll sweep and cross, right leg over left, sit up really tall, crossing the legs as deeply as you can, gently starting to twist to the right. So I am giving a little press of my left forearm into my right thigh to give myself a bit of traction, but that push is actually drawing more length in my spine. I'm using my breath to help me soften a bit more deeply into the twist as feels good to my body. Take another full breath in. Full breath out. Unwinding to face the front, seeing if you can shift to more of a figure four. This shape tends to feel very different in the sides of my body. So just notice keeping your right foot active. There is a stretch in the knee here, so you want to keep an active flex in that right foot. Right hip down into your chair as much as possible. Give this a breath in and a breath out. And then help that leg come unwound. How about another stretch up, reach up? As you bring your hands down, let's bring ourselves up to stand. And we're going to use our chair then as a prop for just a few more stretches. I'm going to hold it just for balance purposes, bringing left foot into left hand, getting a nice quadricep stretch here. Make sure your right knee is slightly bent. Feel a little press forward of your left hip, and actually, can you send the left heel kicking into your left hand? That usually gives me more stretch than actually trying to bring the heel all the way to my body. Feel free to pause the video. Feel free to come back to this and stay for a nice duration. This is really an important stretch to actually help with any lower back pain. We want to make sure we're opening up the front body. But for now, I'll help release us out. Maybe you just give yourself a gentle rotation of your spine, just a little lift of the opposite heel, and then we'll find the second side. So wherever you need to position yourself, I know I'm kind of tilting away from you to use my chair for balance, but finding that quadricep stretch in the right leg, softening left knee. And again, I'm sending my right hip flexor forward, but trying to almost kick my right hand into my right foot into my right hand. I keep doing that backwards to feel a little deeper lengthening. Finding a spot to just give yourself some breath. And again, a nice 20-second hold or longer is so, so good here. Feel free to pause, to linger, catch up with the rest of the video later. And then we'll just give one more little release there and we'll find one more stretch using your chair. So as you start to face your chair, let's take the feet a little farther away, wide feet, toes in slightly. Start to soften your knees so you're hinging at the waist with your spine long, heart lifted, and then walking your hands to a position, sending your feet farther away, your tailbone back to see if you can soften into a wide fold. Bending your knees as much as feels good, feeling some length in your back body, but feeling as though your spine is really long. I'm not breaking at my back, so I'm hinging at the waist, but keeping my heart lifted. Your head could soften between your shoulders if that feels good. This is again one of those places, if you're feeling the deliciousness of this stretch, I really encourage you to stay and to linger. But I'll just help you come up, soften the knees, lift your heart, and basically just kind of shimmy using hands closer, feet closer, rising up with a really nice flat back. Take a big stretch in, reach up. Exhale, hands down. One more time, a freedom breath, we call that. Big breath in, stretch up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Thank you for making time for this stretch. I wish you peace in your body throughout the rest of this day. Namaste.